What's up, everybody? Erect the Red here, back with another episode of Gaming News Weekly. We're up to episode 43. We've been doing this for 43 weeks. Crazy. As always, let's kick things off with our new releases from last week. It was a small week of releases last week. First thing let's talk about, though, is Curved Space. Came out for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox X. This is a space-based twin-stick shooter. Pretty cool idea. It's on these three-dimensional levels, though. So the enemies are coming from all over. The bullets are, they're adhering to the curvature of the board. So, that's a gameplay mechanic you have to get used to. Right now, the game is not doing great as far as the reviews go. Currently at a 55 on Metacritic. So, if you're a huge fan of twin stick shooters or shmups, maybe this is a game for you. Otherwise, maybe wait and snag this one on sale. All right, next up, let's chat Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. This came out for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X, and Nintendo Switch. Now, I was unfamiliar with this game up until the recording of this. So this is based on a 2017 game. It's technically a remaster of it. It's got the entire game plus hours of new content. And what it is, it's a romance story with poetry and horror. And all the reviews that I've read, it's getting great reviews. It's currently at an 80 on Metacritic, are saying don't go in as blind as possible into this game. And it's all I'm thinking about now. They're saying it's such a creepy horror game, and I just want to experience it for myself. So if you've played this game, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if it's something I should check out. Might be a good one to snag on the Nintendo Switch. A lot of the reviews I've read said they've played it multiple times through and gotten different experience every time. So, again, let me know what you thought of this game if you've played it, or if you're playing it now, what you think so far. All right, that's it for the new releases from last week. I told you it was a light week as far as new games go, but that gives us all the more time to get into our news of the week this past week. The first thing being Xbox Cloud Gaming is now available to everybody. Anybody who has Game Pass Ultimate, if you're a subscriber to that service, you can now play games over the cloud, either on a Windows 10 PC or Apple phone, tablet, through a browser. It's available in 22 countries. Not all of the games on Game Pass are available. There's only probably a little over 100 as of this moment, but they're constantly putting more and more out there. They're constantly coming out with new games to Game Pass, and of those new games, a bunch more are becoming playable as far as a cloud service game. The games are streamed at 1080p and up to 60 frames per second when available. So you could sign up at xbox.com/play to be able to start playing your games anywhere. I read some reviews of it, and it's a fairly new system, new service, so there are some bugs, and it's cloud gaming. It's not, you can't expect it to work perfectly. It's very much dependent upon your internet service and then how you want to play it. I know some people, you can play it on your iPhone with touch controls right on the screen, which is crazy, but it's not a great way to play a lot of these games. So there's a lot of new controller peripherals being added for phones, tablets, and a lot of the next-gen controllers will work for this, although I did read that sometimes they're a little buggy getting them to connect to certain devices. So, all in all, it's a great service. Tons of games available to be able to play just on the go, wherever you've got internet, wherever you want to play a video game. Really cool that this is a thing, and I'm going to be signing up. I'm going to do a free trial thing just to check it out, see how it works. I don't have an Xbox, but I have a ton of systems that could play this now. So I'm really interested to see what games are available on the service and how they work. All right, let's switch gears and talk about Sony for a minute. They just bought Housemarque Games, the Finnish developer. They've collaborated with them for years, ever since 2007 with Super Stardust HD on the PlayStation 3. They've worked with them a ton afterwards with games like Dead Nation, Resogun, Alien Nation, Nex Machina, Matterfall, and then most recently Returnal, all as console exclusives to the Sony consoles. So, this kind of it wasn't a huge surprise. They've worked together a ton and have been able to put out a ton of awesome games. Like I said, most recently with Returnal, and that did great. So, really exciting to see what they'll come up with next. They're always making really interesting games, different from everything else that's out there. So really cool acquisition by Sony for that one. In addition to that, Sony just acquired Nixes, a Dutch studio that specializes in porting games to PC. So we've been seeing a lot of that, these Sony exclusive finally making their way to PC. So that was pretty cool to also see this. They'll really be able to, put a shine on some of these older games, switch them over to PC so that PC gamers can experience some of these great Sony exclusives. And then a third studio that possibly could be joining Sony is Blue Point Games. Now, when Housemarque was acquired, PlayStation Japan put out a tweet basically welcoming Housemarque into Sony Studios, but they included the wrong picture, and it said Blue Point Games, and in the picture it had one of the games that they are most known for, Demon Souls, as artwork in the photo. So, who knows if this was true, but I mean, it seems to be a quality rumor because of it came from PlayStation Games or PlayStation Japan, and it had it had Blue Point, and it had Blue Point Games work on the picture. So hopefully that announcement will be coming soon. But until then, we'll just have to wait and see. In more awesome partnership news, Konami recently announced that they are now working with Bloober Games. Now, if you're not familiar with Bloober Games, they recently put out Medium, the Blair Witch game, Observer, just quality horror games. So lots of speculation about this, and all really founded speculation. So they're talking that Konami is finally going to be putting out the long-awaited Silent Hill game. So now with this news of the Bloober partnership, it seems like it's pretty much on the horizon. There's been, some talk, some rumors of Silent Hill being one of the new games coming out. And you could go read about it. There's a ton of really cool information, speculation about different studios putting it out and all this stuff. But right now with the addition of Bloober Games into the fold, it seems like Konami is going to be putting this out. We haven't had a Silent Hill game in quite some time. Silent Hills, that game that was just shown, was teased in 2012, and then that deal fell through and haven't anything since. So hopefully they could put something together, get out a great game, and I have faith in Bloober Games. I've been playing some of their games now, and they do an awesome job with horror gaming. So very excited for more information about whatever the heck this is. I've just been reading tons of rumors up until now, and it feels good to kind of be getting closer to some sort of factual information, but who knows when that'll be. Hopefully soon. All right, and July, brand new month, means brand new games coming to the subscription services. So we recently got the PlayStation Plus games announcement for July. This month we're getting Plague Tale Innocence for the PlayStation 5, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and WWE 2K Battlegrounds for the PS4. Plague Tale Innocence is a new next-gen version of an older game, so that's pretty cool, especially because there is a sequel to that coming out real soon. And then Black Ops 4, it does not have a campaign in that specific one, but it's got zombies, so you can play that with your friends. And then WWE 2K Battlegrounds, I heard it's not very good, but, could be fun arcadey wrestling game. You could beat the crap out of some other arcadey wrestling people. So, a good month as far as the PlayStation Plus games go. Now let's take a look at the Xbox games with gold. For that, we got Planet Alpha, Rock of Ages 3, Make and Break, Midway Arcade Origins, and Conquer Live and Reloaded. I don't know much about any of these games. Looks like a couple platformers, a game where you're a ball, and then you could play some old school arcade classics. So, definitely download those if you've got games with gold, or don't. I don't know if you'll be missing much, but, those are the new games for this month on both PlayStation and Xbox. All right, let's finish things up with a couple new game announcements. Well, technically, this one's not a new game, but it is a new announcement. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut just announced for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 version has specific next-gen enhancements. It's got the haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, the 3D audio, better load times, 4K, 60 frames per second. But both of them will have a new expansion, Iki Island, and then all the game and all the additional content from the original version. So, if you've never played Ghost of Tsushima, now is your chance. Or if you played it and you've loved it, which I've heard a lot of people do, get in there and get a better version of it with a lot more content and some new content to boot. So this one comes out August 20th. All right, and last up, we got a trailer and release date for a new game called Grime. I had to include this one because it blew me away with the way it looked. It's a 2D action role-playing game, but it's super weird looking. This is set to come out on PC and Stadia on August 2nd, and the gameplay hook of it sounds really cool. You can parry your enemy's attacks, and when you do, you get an ability. You absorb their powers, basically. That's really cool. There's upgrade stats for your character, and then as you go, you can equip mutating living weapons to battle with. I was like, what even is this game? I had to throw it in there just because it deserves to be seen. So, if this sounds good or looks good to you, August 2nd, check that out on PC or Stadia. But, other than that, I have no idea what it is I'm even looking at. So, your guess is as good as mine. And just like that, we've made it through another episode of Gaming News Weekly. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Hope to see you back here next week for more sweet video game news. Thanks.